to markers, the brush tip is way more superior than the chisel tip or chisel nib. But what are the advantages that the chisel tip has? The advantages that the chisel tip have. What are the advantages that the chisel tip have? Yeah, over the brush nib. Today I'll show you. So I have some pieces of paper here. Need to make sure it's really thick so that it doesn't bleed through, and yeah. So I don't have a top-down camera, so it's kind of hard to do this. But here, so with the brush tip, you can get some pretty thick lines and some pretty fine ones as well. Here, let me just show you real quick. As you can see, that's the brush tip, and with the chisel tip, it really only is thick or thin. You can either just use the edge of it or the actual thick part of it. So that's the chisel. That's basically all the line work that you can get. But here's how I kind of felt that the chisel tip will help me. So one, it's basically only one, because like I said, the brush tip is way better. But let's say you have a rectangle. That's a I'm gonna get a ruler. Let's get a new piece of paper. So let's say you have like a rectangle, and you want to color in this rectangle, right? So once I finish this stupid rectangle, if I color it in with the brush nib, let's pick a different color. Let's do PB6. If I use the brush nib, let's see how many times I go over the line, especially with some thin lines like that. Let's see how many times I go over the line. Although I have gotten better, so I don't think I'll go over the line that many times, because I've just gotten better. But I've gone over the line one time. Also, I think it's just a little bit easier to fill in a large area with the chisel tip instead of with the brush tip. Just a little bit easier. Obviously, it's not like disgustingly bad to color with the brush nib for large areas, and for coloring in shapes, it's also not terribly bad. I mean, I just did it and it was totally fine. Nice rich blue color there. That's pretty good, but it went over the line a little bit. So I'm going to draw another square. I'm going to use a smaller ruler this time. Yeah, I'm going to just do another square real quick, and then you guys can see how much better it is to use the chisel tip for doing more geometric shapes with ridges and corners and whatnot, because the brush tip is more fluid, right? And the chisel tip is more geometric. So we're just using that to our advantage, basically. I went over the line a little bit there, but that's alright. Okay, so it's just way easier to color in geometric shapes, I guess. And it's just great because, I mean, it's already a geometric shape. You just line it up and then pull it across. Only problem is, if you've used the marker for a little while and you go really fast, it'll streak. It doesn't work here, but I have another color that it's super streaky. Alright, never mind. I haven't used my markers that long. I've only had it for a couple of months. But it will get streaky, and it makes that disgusting sound. As for the brush tip, it's just a nice fluid, soft motion, right? So the top is the brush and the bottom is the chisel. Also, the chisel tip for at least Ohuhu markers, it's like more juicy. It releases a lot more ink. Yeah, but that's basically the only thing that chisel tips are good at. Honestly, if I were gonna get Ohuhu markers, which I would, because I did. If you haven't seen my video on Ohuhu versus Copic, I went with Ohuhus, not the Copics. But Copics are better, but for the price, Ohuhus are way better. Anyways, I had a video on it and I recommended Ohuhus. So these are just Ohuhus. These are not, I'm not sponsored, obviously. I'm just giving them a shout out because these are really good markers. All alcohol based. But they have one where it has a brush tip and a hard nib or a bullet nib. And I feel like that would be way more superior than a chisel tip. Because obviously, as I said, doing geometric shapes with a brush tip is way better. Or not way better, but it's like, I can handle. Anyways, that's basically the end of this video. I just wanted to do a quick video since I haven't uploaded an art video in a while. And stay tuned because I believe the June 7th is when I'm going to release my docu-series. It's just a practice run for us, or for me and my friend. And if we do good and if we get good feedback, then we might do another one that's more helpful towards the community, because it's actually educational, and we had to do research and you could actually learn something. Like the one that we're doing now, I don't think you'll really learn something. I mean, there's some stuff maybe that you could learn stuff, but we're planning on doing one where you would definitely learn something. Anyways, that's it for this video. I hope you enjoyed and I hope this helped you a little bit. But without further ado, I will see you guys later.